All right. And I have dialed down the music a little bit. And let me just confirm everyone can hear me. Last night, thank you very much. Thank you. Last night I got a little mini rack in. I started mounting some rack servers. I haven't done that for a few years. Lots of fun. All right, let's get into it. And we got 127 people in the game. We have a lot more than that who are watching, so everybody's welcome. Here we go. All right. How prepared are you for these types of questions? All right, good to know. Now, these questions are all in a randomized order. So I put them all in last night. They are coming at us in just whatever random order we want that it chooses for us. So let's go ahead and take our next question. Here it is. Multi-select 2 or more answers. Here's the question. Good luck. Well, those indeed are the 2 correct answers. So here's what I would have us do. If you're just studying this, that's great. If whatever you're using for your main course of study, feel free to continue using that, brush up, and then come back to this video whenever you want to and take a look at the questions again, and we can sort out what and why and how and all that good stuff. But a lot of people got this right. Fantastic. Here we go. Next question is this one right here. All right, and nice work. You know, it ought to work. That's like the oldest joke in the Cisco handbook. Yeah, these 2 ports configured as auto, they should work. It ought to work. It doesn't. Neither one will. It's sort of like having a dance where you have the one party on one side of the room and the other party on the other side of the room, and they want to dance with each other, and neither one actually walks over and says, "Would you like to dance?" Nobody initiates. Auto is like standing against the wall waiting to be asked. If you have 2 people waiting to be asked, no dancing's gonna happen. Very sad. All right, Lucky Dove is coming out strong. Here's the next question. All right, so is that a little bit mean because they're all accurate? Those are all true. I was looking at the blueprint, and it has here in section 2.3, configure and verify layer 2 discovery protocols, CDP and LLDP. Those are those two commands I issued. I hid the output too. But that also definitely is in section 2.2, which is inter-switch communications. So great job. And next question is this. And Snowy Gator, congrats on being on top so far. Here's the next question. All right, well, great work. And if we look at this output, this is show VLAN brief. And if we see ports that are not here, the two main reasons for that are they are a layer 3 port. Someone went into the port and said no switch port. Or secondly, it is a trunk. And if it's a trunk, it's not going to show up here under an assigned VLAN. So fantastic. All right, let's see who is on top of the heap here. We have Nimble Bison, 6,800 points. Way to go. Here is our next question. All right, fantastic work. Switch 1 will initiate using dynamic trunk protocol, and an 802.1q trunk will be established. Those are both absolutely true. Let's take a quick peek as to why that is. This port 201, operationally it's a trunk, so it's operating as a trunk right now, and it's dynamic desirable, and it also says negotiation of trunking on. So all signs point to this device asking the other side if it wants to. And on this switch, the default is desirable. Excuse me. I guess it might depend on the flavor of switch you have, but on this switch, the 3570, or is it 37? This is the right model. Anyway, that switch, the second one down there, is set up for auto. So if it gets asked, there will be a trunk. So switch 1 will initiate, and switch 2 will say, yeah, let's do it. I had a lot of fun last night as I labbed these up too. I thought, let me just lab all these up just to verify that my powder's dry and that it's all working. So I had a lot of fun putting this together. Nimble Bison, wow, at the top of the heap, almost 9,000 points. All right, here's question number 7. All right, nice. Also, if you have questions on any of these, if you haven't yet studied yet, we'd encourage you to take some time and study. That's always a great thing. And then secondly, if you have questions about, okay, why is an answer like that, or how does that work again, or just to get reinforcement, join us after these live events. We jump on Discord, the Discord server, for a few minutes in the CCNA voice chat room, and there's usually several of us there, and just you can come and ask questions. We love it. We love CCNA level, basic questions that we can talk about. And so feel free to use that. That's free. We'd love to see you if you want to stop by and ask questions. All right. Next question. After we look at the scoreboard, Nimble Bison still on top. Here's our next question. Good luck. All right, that's what we call in the business a doozy. And I crafted that specific question because there were so many details that I wanted to chat with you about that you should be prepared for when working with switching, and also as part of the CCNA. So it's definitely in that category of the blueprint called 2.2, configure and verify inter-switch connectivity. Because I'll bring up the graphic again. Because the task says configure and verify, not just describe or explain, they really want you to understand how it works at that level. So if we look at the output here, show interfaces for both, if we go down, the administrative mode right here is trunk, which means DTP is still at work unless we turned off negotiation. But right here, it's saying that negotiation of trunking is on. So trunking is negotiation is still on. And down here, look at this. Trunking native VLAN 10. And down here it says the native VLAN, or does it? Yeah. Trunking native VLAN is 1. So we have a native VLAN mismatch, which is a problem. And I also had to turn off CDP because CDP was like, Rob, VLAN mismatch, man. So I turned off CDP so I could get a screenshot of this. So it would let you know, but I have mismatched native VLANs. Also, I want to show you this thing right here. Administrative native VLAN tagging enabled. I went to global config and I used the command to tell it to go ahead and tag the native VLAN. Anyway, I know, don't shoot the messenger. because we've always been taught, the native VLAN. It's the VLAN that doesn't get a tag, no tag, no tag, no tag, unless you tell it to, which is what I did on both these switches. So right here is saying administrative native VLAN tagging enabled, which means I don't care if you're the native VLAN, I'm giving you a tag. So we need to have matching native VLANs. That's a good thing. So we don't have, two different broadcast domains that are being put together. And we can do tagging if we want to. By default, it's off, but this is how you could verify. And what else was the question? Let me take another look here. So we get a tag. There's a native VLAN mismatch. Oh, and switch 1 initiated the negotiation of the trunk. And that's because switch 2 is in auto. Like, I'll dance. I'll sit by the wall and dance, but you got to invite me. And a device that's trunking with negotiation still enabled, which it is, that would do the initiation. All right, that was a doozy. So thanks for playing along with that, and that's a lot to unpack from there. So happy studies with that as you continue in your journey towards CCNA. Let's see who's on top of the heap. Super Bobcat, first time at the top, I believe. Congratulations. And here's the next question. Good luck, everybody. Wow. Okay, no trunk will form, and 63 votes went that direction. That is absolutely true. Let's take a quick peek. Just a quick peek at why. So switch 1 is a trunk. That's great. Negotiation of trunking right here is off, meaning we're not doing DTP. And over here on this other guy, if he's in auto, which he is by default on this device, he's not going to get a trunk. So he's not going to get an invitation, so there won't be a trunk built. And that's the end of the story there. We only need one answer, and no trunk will form was it. Oh yeah, what a great thing. There's really, if we boil this down, there's like just a few things in this trunking section, this 2.2 of the blueprint, that if we take a few minutes and remember how they work with the desirable auto off or on for trunking, and what the responses will be good for most of those. Okay, here we go. Super Bobcat maintains the lead. Way to go. Here's the next question. Good luck, everybody. All right. So again, a little bit of switch 2 will negotiate a trunk. So the terminology and used with all these things like who's going to initiate it, is DTP still running, all that stuff. So switch 1 is a trunk. It says operational mode trunk. Negotiation of trunking is on, so he's going to initiate it. However, the question as far as the switch 2 is going to agree. It didn't initiate the negotiation, but it's going to negotiate a trunk. It's also going to negotiate the protocol. If you have a switch that supports ISL, like from a decade ago, or .1Q, which is the current flavor, because switch 2 doesn't have anything configured for the trunk encapsulation, it will negotiate the .1Q. That's because that's what switch 1 is using. All right, good job. 53 of you nailed it. All right, moving forward. Top of the podium is still Super Bobcat, refuses to be moved. Proud of you. All right. And everybody who's participating, the secret is identify what you need to study a little bit, brush up on it, become really good. And I had so much fun last night. I mean, I was just playing. I was like in a playground, just woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. As I lab these up, and I wanted to verify each one of them too on live gear just to make sure that, I remembered it straight. And, the second or third or fourth or 100th time you revisit something, you keep getting better. You keep getting better at it. So all this study and practice is going to help. And when you're in an environment where you are troubleshooting and because you've practiced it, like, oh, I know what auto and desirable auto does. And I saw one comment saying, you should be turning that negotiation DTP stuff off and just hard code it. I don't disagree with that either. All right, moving forward. Question number 11. We're nearing the end here. How many different study material sources do you use? This is just for me. I'm just curious. I have my own ideas, but I wanted to find out from you, how many different sources of material do you use when you're studying? All right. So the majority have 2 to 3, and then close to that 3 to 4. Fantastic. When I was studying for my CCAs and stuff like that, I would use everything I get my hands on that was useful. It's always good to see another person's opinion or go in depth. And sometimes I'd hear something from one vendor or one trainer, and then I hear it from another, and what sowed the seeds of how it worked, and then the other person was able to help reinforce that. And I bet you if I did the other direction, I learned from this guy first and then this person, it would also be very, very helpful. All right, thank you for that. That was no points. However, you have my eternal gratitude. Here's question number 12. All right, switch 2 is set to auto-negotiate, and switch 2 negotiated the .1Q encapsulation. Let's take a look. How do I know that? Well, switch 2 right here at the bottom says, under the encapsulation, it says N-802.1Q, meaning it negotiated that. And that also implies that this guy supports more than just 802.1Q. And what was the other question? Take a peek. And switch 2 is set to auto-negotiate. And, oh, right there, mode auto. So up here on the top, mode on, that means it's hard-coded as a trunk. And down here, mode auto, it's set to auto. And if it was desirable, it would say a little shortcut for the word desirable there as well too. All right, so good to have you here. Every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, so adjust your clock for that. We do another quiz based on something in the CCNA Blueprint. Having a lot of great time creating them. Also, I'm putting these in a playlist, so you can go back later and you can go down the playlist for any of these topics just to make sure you're ready. I would do that as your last steps, and before you take the certification, make sure you're ready for these. Arctic Panda. Wow. Okay, here we go. 2 more. Oh, and this one's free, meaning there's no points with it, but I'm interested. Inch, life's a cinch. If we just make small changes, that can lead to enormous results. So in 5 or 10 years from now, as we look back on these videos with fond memories, we think, oh my gosh, all I did was this and then that and this, and now look where I am. That's really the secret. It's making small changes, being consistent, having fun while you're doing it, and then you're going to end up with a better result as if you didn't start at all. So one of the first steps in that entire process about improving and changing. Here's what our future is going to look like. All right, network engineer, network architect, network admin, network security engineer, CTO, CEO, architect, fantastic. And I have a whole bunch of separate playlists on my YouTube channel about how I got to where I'm 56. I don't look 56 sometimes, but in the morning, sometimes I feel it. And people ask me, how did you get to, double CCI? And it's like, I just basically every day did something. And when I fell down, which happens a lot, I'll tell you that, I just get up again and just keep on going. And I have some long goals, some big goals, and then I just work at them in small, teeny chunks, making teeny progress as I go along. And anybody can do that. I'm not so special in that. And I know that we come from different, everybody has different backgrounds and experiences and resources or lack of resources. But I can tell you what, by having some goals and making short little steps every day or every week in that direction, slowly but surely, will have you a long way further than if you didn't. I believe in you. And that CCNA for me was a great stepping stone back in the 90s. And I got my first CCI in 2001, another CCI in 2003, and then I've had certifications with others as well. So it's totally worth it. Here's the last question. Good luck, everybody. Pressure, but this is the last question. And in answer to Rolando's question, yes, you're capable of this. And everybody else too. All right, no trunk forms, and most of you got that. Why is that? Well, if we take a look at the administrative mode, which is dynamic auto, and it's also a static access port. And if you take a look at negotiation of trunking is still on. However, because it's dynamic auto and switch 2 is also auto, it ought to work. That used to be a joke about duplex that we told back in the day when we cared about duplex. But yeah, no trunk is going to form here. All right, that is it. So let me go ahead and show you the podium. Congratulations for everybody who's played every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Adjust your calendars. I'll have something amazing for us. We'll have a lot of fun. And the winner on the podium, Power Bobcat. Let me turn that down a little bit. All right. Congratulations, everybody who's played. The big win is for you. as far as identifying where your strengths are, what you need to improve on. Go ahead and study. And our goal here on this channel, the Keith Barker channel, is to help give you the tools and tips today to help you get your CCNA, including what you might need to focus or work on. I also like to take a moment and get some feedback. If you would, just go ahead and I'm going to click on show feedback and see it. Let us know how you like these quizzes and these events. Also, just after, because right now this is happening live, just after this event, we're going to be in the Discord server. There's a link in the description. It's free. We hang out in the CCNA voice chat room. So if you have questions about, for why is this or why is that, bring it on. We got lots of people who are just eager and happy to share their knowledge and chat. Or if you just want to say hi or just hang out, that's cool too. So I'm going to be there in about 2 to 3 minutes. I just need to take a bio break and grab some water, and I'll be there shortly. And then I look forward to seeing everybody in the next live event, whether it's in Discord in a few minutes or somewhere else on the channel. Happy studies. You can do this. It's going to make a difference. And until then, be safe, be well, and be kind to everybody. Bye for now.